Hey everybody, Brian Bush, Top Crop Alliance. If you've been like me driving around looking at some of these soybean fields, you're starting to see some kind of yellowish or kind of limey green areas popping up. Like you see behind me here, Phytophthora root and stem rot. So Phytophthora typically we think of as a seed treatment, an early season disease, cool and wet. Well, Phytophthora can attack the plant all season long. So in particular, you look for the compacted areas, the areas where water stands, and go out there. First things first, start digging up plants. Very characteristic. See, it's kind of reddish, brownish kind of lesion, kind of above the soil line. That's pretty common you'll find with Phytophthora. Then you take a minute, you split that. Kind of look in here, see the discoloration here? It kind of discoloration, kind of a off brown, not quite clean and green. Let me get a healthy plant here. So I pull up this healthy one, split this one back. Look how white and healthy and green this one looks compared to this one, kind of being an off-white, almost kind of a light brown color. We're plugging up the vascular system on this plant. So this is caused by Phytophthora. So Phytophthora is known as a water mold. So the spores, it's a fungus, but the spores actually swim through the soil, through that water sheet to go out there and infect these roots. Stressors like compaction, really dry soils that didn't allow the roots to grow out through there. Some of these, I'll find the one right here. Here's one I dug up. Another characteristic sign, look how these leaves kind of droop. So this plant dies so quickly, the leaves and petioles can't fall off before the plant has a chance to die. So we plug up that vascular system, and actually, so these plants are dying because they're not getting enough water up to the top of the plant there. So, but if you look at this plant, nice root system going sideways, but look how that thing's straight in a row. So this one was planted a little on the heavy side, and those roots couldn't leave that seed furrow. That's a bad sign, kind of predisposing this plant to other diseases and other factors later on in the year, namely this Phytophthora root and stem rot. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do at this point. You can spray fungicides, sure, but fungicides aren't really going to help this disease because this is inside the roots and stems. Keeping this plant healthier longer is definitely going to be one of the best ways. So like around this, you can kind of see behind me here. This is kind of limited to the lower areas here in the field. Behind that, a little higher elevation where the water gets away from the roots quicker, that's going to help. Tight clay soils that are compacted, is it cover crops, working the ground, deep tillage to break up that compaction layer? Is it adding tile into the fields to let the water get away quicker and not let this water mold be a problem here? So lots of factors we can think about for the future. There's also variety differences, within the Pioneer system here. We have a Phytophthora gene, which helps control specific races of this fungus, and also a Phytophthora field tolerance, which just kind of tells you generally how well it can tolerate all those races kind of together there. So, but even with this, if the plants are under stress, even those resistance genes and field tolerance can be overcome with all the issues here. So, not a fun one to talk about here, but in case you're driving around and seeing these light green areas in the field and kind of wondering what's going on, Phytophthora root and stem rot. Hope that helps.